they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs at
Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. It's been a busy day already, as you can appreciate. Your transfer window deadline. We try and bring you, I think we bought 3 little update videos, just as and when everything's happening. It's mental at the moment. Literally news coming all the time, so we try and make sure you guys are on top of it. So I do apologise if there's a lot of West Ham Network, but it's transfer window deadline day after tomorrow. All goes a bit quiet. But hope you're safe whenever you and here. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Obviously yesterday, 1-1 against the old Spuds, eh? I've got a dirty t-shirt, I've just realised. I'll just put my hand against it. 1-1 against the Spuds. We did the match day live, we did a review show outside. Grabbed a few people. One man took his top off. We had Mark Simmons, the comedian, come on as well. It was all going on. But what we do is we take some time just to reflect on the game quickly. Get your views, get your comments in terms of the just in terms of scores and ratings. That's what we do on the day after the game. And obviously, you know, it was I thought the second half particularly was very, very encouraging. And yeah, we'll see what today brings in terms of players coming in and players going out. And we'll have a quick look. If we had a manager, Spurs would have been demolished. Instead, this loser has handed them a point. Moyes out. Fortunate kid going in hard there on the first comment. Stephen Bug, good afternoon to you, my friend. Hope you're well. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through, have a look at some of the players, get your thoughts. I'll give you my opinions. And most people disagree anyway, because I'm usually too harsh. I think I've been a bit generous looking at my points today. Maybe because it was Spurs, I was like, oh, you know, they were for the taking, I thought, yesterday. I thought they really were. And a hit post here, or a miscommunication there, last minute inch away from popping it in the goal. Could have been a different story. But I thought, I thought their supporters weren't very good either. Wasn't a lot of banter. Maybe that wall is having an issue with them. I don't know. But they were probably our worst away support, I think, this year, in all honesty. But yeah, no, and obviously we had the VAR. God, that took forever. We had just a weird game, wasn't it? Holberg just kept getting injured all the time. And then when play stopped so he could change his boots, I just didn't understand that at all. Just didn't get it at all. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to give you my match day ratings. Most of the time, people disagree with them anyway. And then we'll talk about the latest transfer rumours, so you've got them all. And then we'll crack on for the rest of the day. As I said, we'll be doing a live stream tonight from about 8 o'clock onwards. We've got Holly on. We've got loads of the West Ham Network boys and girls on. A few journalists on. Maybe a few ex-Hammers as well. So keep an eye out. Should be an interesting few hours. Let's just say that together. So let's start with Mr. Fabianski. And obviously get your in the chat. Get your ratings in. That's it. I couldn't think of the word then. Get your ratings in as well. What you think about Fabianski's performance yesterday? Obviously, he had his first clean sheet of the season, first Premier League one, away to Aston Villa on Sunday. To be honest, he had little to do. Didn't really have many saves to make, in all honesty. There's a few half chances. I think there's one from Kane outside the box, which he held well. I mean, there was little he could do about the own goal, really. It was a great cross. And to be honest, if Tilo hadn't put it in, I think it was Son behind him would have put it in. But it was a Harry Kane volley. He did a good shot. Good parry, good save. But that was it. He didn't really have a lot to do. I don't think the defence did a really good job yesterday of controlling people. It was a good game, end to end, not playing well yet, no indeed. Afternoon, Peter, big kick-off. I would have taken a point, but we should have taken all 3. Agreed. Didn't have a lot to do indeed. So, right, Papa Smurf, hope you're well, my friend. No, you're right. I didn't have a lot to do at all today. Yesterday, in all honesty. Pete's gone for a 7. I'm going to rattle through these quickly. I've gone for a 7. I'm just like Pete. Scott has gone poor distribution, 6. probably Fab's best game in a long time. Came out. I think it was in the second. Was it in the second half where the ball came from like they hoofed it, and it was like 1-on-1, and Fabianski came out as there was a little bit of hesitation in the second half. Yeah, the second half where it was a corner and he stopped and he judged himself. But I don't mind that because nothing happened, so that was okay. And Papa Soucek gave him a 7-2. Right, let's move on like Donkey Kong. Let's talk about Vladimir. Let's talk about Vlad the Impaler. Obviously, back in the starting lineup. Johnson wasn't in the squad. He had an injury. Obviously, he limped off the Aston Villa game, didn't he? He started at right back. I'm just having a look at my notes. I mean, he got forward quite a lot. Clever thinking, quick throw. And that sometimes, that was a foul throw, really. I think it was a foul throw. But a quick throw led to Soucek's goal. So his quick thinking, got forward quite a lot. I thought I thought the defence played quite well and nullified most of Tottenham's attack, really, to literally long balls. And I think Conte came out and called us a long ball team, but actually I think most of their thing was long hopeful punts up the field. But it's funny how some people see games differently. 7-6 as a good game. Fed some nice balls into the box, he did 7 mainly for the second half. I know you meant Coufal. 7 got well forward and was close to setting up the winner. He was indeed. So I actually gave him also a 7. So we're on the same path at the moment. Impressive. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Let's talk about Kehrer. Obviously, he impressed in the Villa game, and I think today he impressed. He impressed just as much. Very solid display. Unlucky with the goal. Couldn't do anything about that. It was put into the corridor of uncertainty, wasn't it? So he had to put a foot out. It could have got over, but I thought he played quite well. What I like about him is he kept up with Son. There was a breakaway in the first half where he kept up with Son. I was really impressed. I thought he's got. You can see. Apparently, he said he's Germany's fastest player or something like that, which is pretty mental. Sometimes he does get a bit not hot-headed, but sometimes he does sort of get a bit overexcited. But I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was really, really good. I think he's going to gel into a really, really strong. And we were saying in the post-match review that it's going to be interesting when all of our centre backs are fit. So when Agaird's fit, when Kehrer's fit, when Zouma's fit, who's his two? Because I think Zouma. I think Zouma's played well the last 2 days. But what was quite interesting was Kehrer was playing on the right side and Zouma was playing on the left side. Obviously, seniority, so to speak, would rule that Zouma played on the right side and Kehrer played on the left side. But I've gone for a 7 as well because he played well. Obviously, we still conceded, and it probably would have been an 8, but the own goal. I know he had nothing to do about it, but he still chalks up as one as is. And let's see what we had for. Let's go back to Kehrer. 7 got forward well, set up the winner. Close. That was Vlad. 7 got to be a 9. 7 can't blame for the goal. Huge distribution. Was impressed, contrary to what the pundits say. Gonzo was raving about him. I thought he was very good. 8, great game. Unlucky with OG. Unlucky with the goal. He'll play several positions in it for us and could become a great player. Can obviously play right back as well. I changed my Kehrer 8 to an 8. Don't you just love Soucek? We always do. He always comes back, doesn't he? Back 3 of Zouma, Agard and Kehrer would be very, very good. It would be indeed, with Agard playing on the left, Zouma in the middle and Kehrer on the right would be very good. GP, hope you're well, my friend. Just doing our usual. Glad to see you last night, Russ. I was the weirdo approach you on the way to the station. Alan. Was you the guy with glasses? Was it grey hair and glasses? If that's you, Alan, welcome. Nice to see you. Just as we was going past Car Park C, if I'm right. If it was, pleasure. Fabianski was unlucky. They didn't test him. Gonzo thinks Pringles are snacks, not crisps. They are. They're not snack. They're not crisps. Crisps are made out of potato. Aren't Pringles a maize snack? Grey hair. How dare? Was it grey hair, Alan? It was by Car Park C, wasn't it? Just as you're walking down to the entrance to the station, you went, "All right, Russ, keep up the good work," and you with another chap as well. Should have stayed for longer, mate. Could have had a chat. I was talking to Anton anyway. We'd finished the show. Anyway, let's move on to Zouma. So Zouma. Obviously, great showing against Villa. He was been poor until that Villa game where he was sort of not swashbuckling, but a bit more, He's not a stylish full defender, is he? He's a bit of a little bit of a throwback sometimes, and I quite like that. He's a bit of a lump sometimes. And I thought Kane, Son, I thought both centre backs did really well, and I thought Zouma did another good game for him. He was probably the best in the first half. He kept himself in good positions, trying to nullify any attacks. He even, collided with the post early on, didn't he, from Bayern corner? Always knocked himself out. Again, second half led the defence well, solid. Kept on getting whacked, didn't he? Kept on getting whacked. Oh, bless him. Old Zoo. There's a lady in our control room who always says, "Why do they boo him?" It's like Zoom. I was telling her about Samassi Abu as well. Russie B gives this a rating of 7. I thought him and Kehrer together played very well as a duo. But he just hobbles about a bit, doesn't he? Let's see. Let's go for some comments. Definitely, mate. Indeed. Watched your clip last night when we got back. You looked nervy You looked nervy walking around. Well, I don't know he's going to be behind me. Go back and watch it. Some bloke took his top off, and it's like I'm not drunk, and so you got to keep an eye out. And I sort of also I'm looking around to see if there's anyone I can grab, and then obviously Mark turned up. Mark Simmons. Not bad first game to come back to. He's been in Edinburgh doing his Fringe show. To critical acclaim, he won. He got the runner-up in joke of. In Dave's competition, Dave the channel, they do a joke of the Fringe, and I think he came second. What was his joke? He's in Wales tonight. If anyone is in Wales, I believe he's got some dates. He's going to Chelmsford. He's going all over the country, Bristol, all over the country. He's a brilliant comedian. Real like one-liners. Bosh. Dave joke. What was it? Mark Simmons, where is it? Joke of the Fringe. It doesn't matter. Dave's joke of the Fringe. 2022. I'll let that go while we keep going. Hairs with that. God, yeah, tell me about it. I don't make a ball whatever. Zouma, couple of commanding games. 8. Happy you're well. It really pisses me off about is they keep punching the ball into play. If you have to punch out. Indeed. 8, 7. Looks injured. 7. That's what I said, mate. Sunny Chelmsford. Always sunny in Chelmsford, my friend. Always sunny in Chelmsford. Right, let's move on and talk about... Where is he? Let's talk about the man with the magic hat. Does he have a magic hat anymore? I don't think so. I'll be honest. I got Mark's joke. His joke was, did you know if you get pregnant in the Amazon, it's next day delivery? I thought it was quite good. Actually, I think it's probably better than the main one. I tried to steal pasta from the shop, but the female guard saw me and I couldn't get pasta. Yeah, it's alright. Cresswell. Anyway, let's talk about Cress. Man with the magic hat. Was obviously left back to yesterday. Got a lifeline early on when Harry Kane's header hit his hand. There was the VAR. Struggled. I think he struggled with old Kozlewski, whatever his name is. Second half got a bit better, but first half I think he got done in quite a bit. I mean, Kozlewski's a good player. And obviously he was taken off for 20 minutes. He looked like he was hobbling. By all accounts, didn't he pick up an injury during the week? And maybe that's something which played on him. He just looked a bit behind the pace of everyone else. I think everyone was sort of getting themselves back up to a level, and he wasn't, unfortunately. What we got in the chat, he's got Wonder of a left foot, not a magic hat. Well, he wears a magic hat. Cresswell 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. Looks a bit behind. I think the game is passing by. Better off when we were subbed. 6, 6. If only Cresswell was 7 years younger, what a player he was. He was indeed. Russie B gives him a boom, a 5. Just thought I just think he works in the back three. I just don't think he works as a left back anymore now. And there's no slighting him. He's a great player. He's been a great servant, but it's not his position. And Emerson, I think, came on, and I agree with someone. We looked better when he was subbed. Yeah, for then with Angelo, sort of no one really knew it then Fornals, and then I think Emerson just offers a little bit more pace down there. Great servant, no first. I totally agree. We need to start games better to improve our chances. Indeed, Peter. If we don't concede, then we only have to score 1 to win, rather than 1 to draw. We're going to do. I'll do a quick roundup. We've been doing some updates today, like 5 minutes or whatever, but I'll do a quick update towards this as well. Declan Rice, obviously captain the side, 200th first team appearance. Wow, for someone so young, so impressive. And came close to scoring, didn't he? You know, when he sort of had that left foot shot rifled and bounced the goal. You know, Lloris, I think if Antonio had maybe got a toe into it, it might have even gone in. You know, more direct. It's sort of like him and Soucek sorted out what was going on a little bit more in that midfield. I mean, you saw Zouma and Højbjerg. They couldn't. They just didn't get a foothold of the game, and they're two quite combative, central midfield players. And I think Soucek and Rice pretty much had them for breakfast, to be honest. And if anything, that's why they kept it going long, and they'd got almost bypassed the midfield. Tough tackling as always. Seemed to want to drive people forward a little bit more. More of the old cross-field passes, quicker passing, which was better to see. I think he was a bit lucky with the Højbjerg tackle at the end, in all honesty. In the edge, beginning of just at half time, wasn't it? Another day could have gone, I think, in my opinion, but a lot better. He's been playing a lot better recently. Russie B has given this a boom 8. Gave him an 8. Let's see what everyone else has said in the chat. Let's have a quick look through. Didn't get notifications. Well, it's because we're doing quite a few shows today, my man. So you'll be surprised if you do get notifications. So that's why just keep an eye on the channel. We'll be going live tonight around 8 o'clock. Just so you know, same as everyone. I think to be honest, 7, 8, best game this season. Started slow, better second half. 6 after the Sharky. Have you had a chance? You can get Rice on. Yeah, exactly. You know, that was not at the moment. Love seeing him commanding and telling players to press. Indeed, heard that we are in for Fofana and that we've signed Benyat. We'll talk about all that. We'll talk about it in a bit. I'll just give you a little rundown of what's going down. What's going down in a tick. Let's talk about potato salad. Tommy Soucek. And do you know what? I think he played really well, in my opinion. It seemed to sort themselves out. Deck was doing a slightly more of a holding role, and Soucek was a lot more in the attacking end. I mean, there was several times he could have actually scored in a couple goals in that first half, really, like breaking into the box, like Tommy Soucek likes to do. They weren't tracking him as much. It was almost like the manager hadn't seen him play in the last season and a half, which is what maybe Conte hasn't done. Maybe just looked at what's happened in the last few games, because he was coming forward a lot more and no one was really tracking him, which was great to see. Loved seeing it personally. Obviously, great goal. What a goal. You know, for someone who's not necessarily wouldn't say he's a technical player, that was a very good goal. Tough tackling. Almost at the end was inches away from scoring the winner, but just couldn't get the final pass in. I thought he played really, really well. 8 for Soucek. 10, the man is back. 8, 9 man a match, getting back to his old self. Is he eating potatoes? I don't know. I think Conte was out coached. Wow. Darren Joyce says 8 as well. Russie B goes 8. Man a match for me. Man a match. I thought he was superb yesterday. And I mean, Anton, I can't. Has he got his? I think these are the old ones. But he had fantastic. I mean, him and Rice as a duo as well was really interesting. I think we made a point. I think it was the Brighton game Them as a duo lost possession 32 times. Villa was 16 times. Yesterday was 11 times, arguably with a better midfield opponents in terms of Højbjerg and Zouma. So it's starting to click, in my opinion. It's taken about half a dozen games for him to start clicking again, but that's what it is. Potato salad forever. Matty would have given him a 7. Matty's like Simon Cowell. Originally I put him down for 7, but I changed it anyway. That interception he made and gave a corner. Son would have scored there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but he didn't. So I'm happy for that one. Anyway, let's move on. On it like Sonic. If I can press the right button, there we go. Let's talk about Bowen. We don't talk about Bowen. No. Better. He's played better than he probably has done all season. Probably his best game this season, I'd say. Best showing in the league, that's for sure. Early chance he wasted at the beginning. Pressed well. Always a threat on the counter-attack. But he's just not there, is it? It's almost like he's in third gear. He's been in like first gear for most of the season. He's up to about third, maybe fourth gear. Do you know what I mean? He's still not at full pace yet. Obviously unable to steal and target that sort of weird volley off that deflected cross from Soucek in I think it's the second half. But better. I mean, it's fair to say he was better. He's better than he has been, which, and I think that's across the board. Everyone's was a lot better than it has been. 6. Soucek was commanding in our box. He was commanding their box as well. Love potatoes, but hate potatoes. So it's not for me. Fair enough. 7. But Spurs targeted him. Well, they all have targeted him. Villa targeted him as well. And Spurs, Perisic was very much any time, wasn't it? Still not up to his best yet. No, I totally agree. If only Bowen had that chance later on, drop him on Saturday. We'll say 7. Not bringing Zizi on is the worry. Told you. 6, 5, 6. Conte put in players in. I thought they were giving him cynical fouls. I thought it was better, but not quite fit yet. Maybe a 7. Moyes should have been sent off. Davies should have been sent off for the amount of times he took out Bowen. I agree. I know you mean Davis. I know you, not David. 6. No half points in this game, Sean. Good afternoon, Adrian. I've given him a 6, which is his best. I think it's his best score for me in the league, that's for sure. So he's getting better. Be interesting to see what happens at Stamford Bridge at the weekend. Let's talk about Benny. Obviously made a huge difference against Villa, coming on second half. And obviously rewarded for that difference by starting, which, and also considering you've got the likes of Paqueta, the likes of Cornet on the bench. Show some what's the word? Show some loyalty there and some acceptance of him playing well. I thought he linked up very well. There was a passage of play in the first half which led to Antonio curling the shot, which was beautiful, all the way from defence to attack. Lovely passing. Him and Fornals, when they're on it, they have a really nice understanding, them two. And he set up a nice chance for Fornals, who took a save off Lloris. And then the Antonio shot as well. After the break, I thought he was quite quiet. So it's almost like he was exerted all his creative energy in the first half, and second half was quite quiet, and then obviously came off for Paqueta. So, it was a good game. It was okay, a good half. Good afternoon, Fresh. How are you? Haven't seen you for a while, mate. How you are? 8. That performance beats Chelsea next week. We'll see. 7. 8. 7. Thought they took it off too soon. 7. I've said Sanchez for Spurs is everything that is wrong with the game. Flopping around, faking injuries, running the game. Never want to play like that. Nobody would tune him in. Well, Højbjerg, falling down so he can change his boots. Unbelievable. Darren, hope you're well, my friend over there in Thailand. Hope you're well. Looking better. Played well. Good link up. 7. 7. 7. I think I've been a bit harsh. I've given him a boom 6. Just because I thought he didn't. Yeah, but that's just me. 6 or 7, maybe a high 6. Maybe we can stretch that to a 7. Let's talk about Fornals now. Obviously, he started on the left of the 3, which I thought was unusual. I thought we would have flipped it round. They sort of moved, interchanged a little bit, him and Benny. I prefer Fornals in the middle and Benny on the left, but hey-ho. Early on, nice interchanging. Good save out of Hugo Lloris in the first half. And then obviously part of the nice move with Benny, which led to Antonio hitting the post. Flashed a shot over the bar second half. Battled, as always, puts himself on. Taking off a few minutes to go, but, his energy is undeniable. And what he brings in terms of work rate. Spurs defence were in pamper second half. 6 is a joke. That's a score Antons for dead fish. All over the place. 7. Yeah, I think in agreement, I will reverse my score for Benny to a 7. There we go. 7 would have been an 8 if he got that chance, and indeed 8 from Sean. 7 would have been an 8. 6 rather from Stephen. Russie B gave it a bum 7. And I think, and 7 for Benny as well. You're right. You're totally right. I agree. I see Benny and Paqueta. Yeah, I reckon so. 4. Wow. Fair play out. 7 afternoon chaps. 7 for now. 9 for Soucek to James Bond. There we go. Antonio. Do you know what? He worked his socks off, didn't he? He was selfless. Yes, that was a selfless performance from Antonio, I thought. Obviously, Scamacca went down with an illness, with a virus, so he was been ill all week. So he wasn't on the bench either. So it was really put all back on Antonio's shoulders, really. And I thought he played really well. I get it. No 7 for the fornicator. Gotcha. 4, no 7. I get you. I thought he played well. Obviously, he set up the goal. He'll get the assist for Soucek's goal, from the foul throw from Vladimir Coufal. And then to Antonio to tee up Soucek. Hit the post in the first half. Great shot. He does them occasionally where he'll curl him inches away from getting the winner as well, which would have been a lovely, just a little, because I thought it was a good team performance from him. Battering Ram. If you in the first half, he was battering. When Sanchez got his yellow card, they were like, he was literally running towards Sanchez all the time, trying to get maybe the second yellow off him and getting sent off. Same as Basuma as well. I mean, I thought Basuma wasn't very good at all. So Russie's B has given Antonio. Actually, no, sorry. Let's just see quickly what we got here. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. Best game or beat game. 7. Antonio was great. Both Antonio need a goal. Taking a lunch break. Thought I would tune. Jerry, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you. Cheers, man. Hope you're well. 9. 7.5 for Cresswell. A bit far back, Jerry. But anyway, thank you. Can't wait to see Ben Ramos in the Fornals and Paqueta in the line. Just imagine him passing. Indeed. 8.5. No half point. No half point is his game. Matt knows the score. 8, 8, 8, 8. I'd prefer Antonio in Bowen's position if Scamacca comes back. I don't think that will happen in terms of GP. I think we all want it, but I don't think it will, to be honest. But I know what you mean. Me too. I will give him a boom 7. 7. A high 7. Let's talk about. We'll talk about the other players quickly. A bit poor. Yeah, I mean he's just. Yeah, I know what you mean. It was a good game for Antonio. Probably his best game in terms of, he was still going right to the end. Do you know what I mean? He was still chasing, so fair play. Let's talk about, obviously, I won't give these guys some scores, but obviously we saw the debut of Lucas. He was introduced just before the teams came out, which was a great, he seemed to really thrive on that. And I tell you what, this boy's got something, hasn't he? This boy has got something. He has got sticky feet. The ball just sticks to his feet, it seemed. And what I liked about him was, I think Anton put up a picture yesterday. He got stuck in. There was a time where he got Sanchez and he got in with a tackle and fouled him. And he's quite an imposing character. I mean, I didn't give him a score because it was his first. I don't tend to give the sub scores anyway now, but he was quite imposing. I thought he was quite tall and was getting in for headers and stuff. It's good to see him, even without training, getting some minutes on the game. Do you know what I mean? And he could have scored the winner, innit? With him and Emerson right at the end. Unbelievable. Not bad for someone who's just literally been in his country for 48 hours. But yeah. But he got a booking as well, didn't he, for Emerson? So fair enough. What we got here? Cornet needs game time. I totally agree. Cornet didn't get any game time, which is me too. Paqueta got 15. We're not going to rate him, but anyway, should have played. Maybe should have come in second half. You can see Paqueta's class. Emerson will be good when he settles in. Oggy was solid, 7 for all. Yeah, good to see minutes of Paqueta. Exciting to watch. Looking forward to seeing him. Had some training with the team. Indeed, Paqueta and Ben Rama. It's going to be like Neymar and Paqueta. There we go. Sorted. Thanks to Russ, but I completely disagree, and I can bet poor performances under Cyril Lewis will continue at bottom half finish. Well, each their own fauna. I appreciate your opinion as well, mate, just as much as everyone else. Nice touches. Shame we didn't hit the cross from Coufal, indeed. Looks like a baller. Yep. Could be. Finally, we have a global star. Be great. We've moved from 20th to 14th. We have indeed. Cornet was holding his knee in the Viborg, so maybe he was rested. Maybe, but he was in the squad though. We are massive. We are winning something. Good minutes for Oggy as well. Yeah, obviously Oggy came on. Good minutes from him. Started. Sort of went to a back. And what I liked was, I think Anton made a point in the review show. Moyes must have changed that formation 2 or 3 times. He started a back 4, then Cress came off, Oggy came on, went to a back 3 with Fornals. That didn't work. Moved the thing back. There's a lot of moving things, a lot of moving pieces around, and I quite like that. We still need to stop putting 2 bloody keepers. We do, and I think also the fact is, the likes of Ashby wasn't in the squad for whatever reason. I don't know. We've got. Ben Johnson is ill. It was injured. Skarmaka's injured. So maybe 1 or 2 coming in today as well. Who knows? We're winning something this year. Good for Steve. We'll get top 8. What a load of cobblers. There we go. Fair enough. We need to stop yet. Best game for a long time. Kehrer and Zouma are solid. West Ham will get top 4. Arsenal and Chelsea will fail. Ashby going to Newcastle, maybe not, maybe Leeds. I think Preston North End are looking at taking a loan deal, so we'll see. Bednarak will be a poor signing for us. The Donkey will be prime. Worried Ashby will go to Leeds or Newcastle. I think we often dress and what's his name? Randolph. I totally agree. In advance talk, we'll talk about that in a minute. Somehow we need to start games better rather than. No, you're totally right. Why did Cresswell start instead of Emerson? I think it's still. I think Moyes likes to stick with what he knows, and it takes time for him to move. But once they move and they get adjusted, then they're in. If that makes sense. So Emerson obviously started the Villa game playing left wing back, and it didn't really work. And obviously Emerson comes on, gets a booking as a kicking off with Richarlison, which was nice to see. So there we go. Fair play. Right, let's quickly give you guys a bit of an update in terms of the rumours. Obviously, we've done 2 little videos today already. 3 little videos. Christ, we've been busy today. Just talking about what's the latest play. So just to give you a very quick update, looks like cheerio. Looks like Tatar. Looks like bye-bye Ballon. Unfortunately, Lucas on Twitter did a great video to goodbye my lover, goodbye my friend. Very emotional, but it looks like he's going to go. It looks like Wolves is going to be a destination. Apparently, they've offered us 5.25 million for him, which would make a profit of about 3.5 million quid. I think, isn't it, something like that? So yeah, it looks like he's going. And it will be to a sort of Midlands club, fair play. He's commuting from Manchester every day. He's and he knows he's not going to get first team football here, so he might as well. And also, he's got 1 year left in his contract. Someone like Wolves will offer him a 2-year deal, so it's more security for him as well. Could be replaced by Jan Bedniak, who apparently we're booking a medical very shortly on loan with an option to buy. I think it's a good replacement for Craig Dawson. I don't think he's going to get much first team football. But then again, we didn't think Craig Dawson was going to get much first team football when he signed him. And then he became an integral player. 6'5" Polish international. So that could be probably one of the certs I think we can expect that to come. I know Villa also and Wolves are also sniffing around for him as well. Conor Gallagher could be a last gasp for Conor Gallagher today, based on who Chelsea bring in and who they want to clear their books of. If it's not Conor Gallagher, maybe someone at Dendoncker could be someone we could do a deal with. Apparently, we've been talking to Wolves, whether it's about a loan deal, whether it's some sort of part exchange deal for Craig Dawson and money. Dendoncker, obviously, we were after in 5 years ago, something like that. They get a blast in the past. So we should see what happens. That another blast in the past. Duj Kletekar, he's apparently flown into. He's flying in. He's flying into London in an attempt to push a deal through for a Premier League move. Looks like it could be Southampton, and then Bednarak comes to West Ham, which ain't a bad. I don't mean it's bad. We got have somebody with Premier League experience coming in, but we'll obviously be looking at him probably as well. And being London could be useful. In terms of other outs, as we said about Ashby, Newcastle, Leeds, and I think it was Preston North End. Yeah, Preston North End have all approached us about the availability of Ashby. I think Preston North End will be a loan deal. I think they all could be loan deals potentially. Newcastle look like they want to spend £2.5 million on him. I'll be surprised if we sell him, but I could see him sending him out on loan possibly. And if a loan deal to Leeds would be good, or Preston North End. But I think Newcastle would want a permanent deal. And finally, Lanzini has been told that apparently if a club comes in for him, we would probably let him go, by honesty. He hasn't really started the season particularly well, neither is the whole side, to be honest. But that could be one that leaves. I think personally, it wouldn't be a loan deal because he's got 1 year left in his contract. He runs out at the end of the summer, so a season on loan wouldn't really work for us. So it would probably be a permanent deal out, but we shall see. So those are the main rumours. There's a lot more. We've got the likes of what's his face, Wan-Bissaka. That's dead in the water, but we'll see what happens. But yes, there's lots of coming in. What we got here? Ashby needs a loan. Gallagher instead of Soucek. Dendoncker agreed fee with Villa apparently. Zar Spurs, good game. Yeah, it was good. It was a good game, ruined by the referee, I think, to be honest. Gutted to see. Yeah, me too. Great shout. Good shout. If you want to car seriously, we've got him by now. Then Donker going to Villa. Alex Cook, Matty boys in the house. You see, Matty's on all night tonight, saying due at Villa for a medical. Then Donker off to Villa. Kletekar off to Southampton. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of movement. Why was there the start delay just today? The fourth officials, that was one of the linesmen's earpieces had stopped working. That's why. So yeah, there was no linesman because his thing had stopped working. South American transfer window open past our window. I think so. So that could be, yeah, exactly. Leicester have signed the new David Luiz. Foot face. Let's have a look. Have they indeed? Fair play to them. Yeah, I mean there was talk about. I mean, someone asked about Fofana. That's not in terms of say Fofana from Lens. He signed a new contract with his club yesterday. So in the same way that Vanaken, he signed a new contract with Club Brugge. So did Sika Fofana. So I can't see that happening. Freebies are longer. Yeah, freebies are. Yeah, we can sign them up until whenever, innit, for a freebie, I think. But anyway, so that's what we're up to at the moment. As I said, we'll be when in the afternoon, couple of times we might pop in and do a quick 5-minute show just to give you an update of anything new that's been happening. We'll be going live from about 8 o'clock tonight. And we'll have Matt on, we'll have Holly, we'll have a couple of like journalists on there talking about West Ham. We'll have a couple of Who else will we have? Maybe a couple of ex-players as well coming on, talking about the transfer window so far for West Ham, all that type of stuff. So make sure you check it out. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, and give it a bloody good subscribe. Maybe become a channel member. We'll also probably do one of our channel member draws, maybe a couple tonight for our channel members. They're automatically entered into draws. We may even do one for viewers tonight as well. So make sure you check out. I haven't Birmingham. Check out the stream. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. As always, we like to thank all our channel members at the end of each of our shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. I'll see you very, very shortly. No doubt I'll see you soon and talk to you about the latest transfer news. Ta-ta for now, my friends. Bye.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,